I'm back.
Oh, hello, stranger.
Nice of him to come, you know. We've been pulling like all the weight this season.
We have. My shoulders are really sore.
Here's Whitey. Shit.
Bam, 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 bam,
Yeah, bam, 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 bam. Well, boys, welcome back. Oh, I'm welcome back.
Welcome back to Draft Boys.
Well, I guess I was welcoming you back, but I was the one that was away.
Welcome our fans. I think that's what you should do.
Well, welcome back to Draft Boys, the FPL Draft Podcast. As always, joined by Miles, Hito, and myself, Whitey.
Yeah.
Lads, how we doing?
I'm all right.
doing
I prefer to be
good.
called Miley G again.
Oh my God.
Let's bring that back.
Yeah.
Is it?
I
But
don't-
I think we dropped that though because you're not the reigning champ in our league anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm still a motherfucking G, so
Yeah, I don't know, man. You're losing it. You're losing it.
Hey,
hey, it was all strategy. All strategy
Okay.
for the first waiver pick, boys.
Yeah, well, it's working
Tim
out
Krul?
well for you.
Maybe.
Yeah, well, what City's gone pretty hard on. What's that guy's name?
Doku.
Oh, I've just
Doku.
Doku.
Yeah.
I think they're spending 50 mil on that or something.
Yeah, 56 mil.
56 mil.
50, 60. I
That
don't know
will
if he's
be
coming yet.
interesting.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll actually be in there by waiver. Because that's sometimes the problem.
Well, yeah, it's always the problem. They always fucking
Always
sign
a
him
problem.
after the waiver. Yeah, I'm just hoping it can drop down fast enough to get him.
Yeah.
You have to tank it, mate.
I know. Well, there could be a few little late entries. Like, I know that Chelsea, now Chukwuemeka's injured.
Mhm.
Like, they've done surgery that just came up this morning. Oh, it's morning their time. That Chukwuemeka's out. So now they've lost
Mate.
another player playing in behind.
What are they feeding these Chelsea boys?
I don't know. Nothing. good.
Nothing. Clearly nothing.
It's devastating.
Champagne
Zero
and caviar,
calcium.
motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
Champagne and caviar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really chilled. But yeah, look, boys, I was really devastated amidst the last couple preseason pods and also the debrief pod. But I did listen.
That's good.
I had a listen.
Is that
Very
the first
good
time
pod.
you've ever listened?
Maybe like the fourth.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't like to listen to myself. So I had
Oh,
no
okay.
issue listening to you guys. But man, such a good pod. Really enjoyed the draft analysis, especially the part where you said that you both rated my team as the best.
I do rate it.
I was really banking on the fact that you don't listen to the pod
Yeah.
when we said that. But
Miles, when I was playing golf with Miles yesterday, he was like, listen to the pod kind of thing. And I was like, I feel like there's something he wants me to hear in there. The way you were saying it, but I probably read into it. But anyway, I was like, okay,
No, I was
better
just like,
listen.
I reckon it was a sick pod. So you should.
It was a
should
good
listen
pod.
to it. Yeah.
It was really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed like the draft analysis and everything. Aside from the piss take, it was good to hear what you guys thought about how it all went down. So yeah, really
it's
enjoyable.
just a rush, man. It's trying to hard remembering everything that happens. It just goes by so quickly.
I love the draft debrief. Like that's my favorite part. Second favorite part.
I think that's the best pod. Yeah.
I can't. But even like the day after where we just all call each other, I didn't get to do that this year. But normally I'll be like, I'll call you two. And be like, dude, oh my God, what the fuck, Nunez? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's normally us bantering other people.
yeah. But it was nice listening to the pod and kind of getting a bit of that anyway. So yeah, it was good. But yeah, look, there was one other thing I wanted to bring up before we got in.
Okay.
To the pod, to Snack Chat and our points. I saw this article, and it's actually like a bunch of, I guess, I don't know if they've been leaked, but they're fantasy teams, just the budget versions of a bunch of actual Premier League players. So I thought it was kind of funny because like a fair few of them like were captaining like Haaland against themselves and shit like that. They had Trippier here. He's like the second highest scorer for amongst the group. 81 points.
Wow, that's a big week.
Yeah,
this week.
big week for him. So he's at the top. I think that's the second time in a row. So yeah. Then there was a few others. He's got 3 Arsenal players, which is interesting. Seems to be a running theme though. Yeah.
I saw a little thing about Salah, how he like always captains himself.
Oh yeah.
He's just like, yeah, always captain myself.
Yeah, I saw
Always.
that too.
And we know our boy Ange Postecoglou is not running his team this year.
Oh, that
really?
was so interesting to
Yeah.
hear that
What's
he
that?
plays
Tell
fantasy.
me. I don't know.
Well, you didn't see that thing.
No.
So Ange was doing a
Press conference.
and basically was kind of saying like, oh, you know, it's really great getting a job and, you know, it's a shame. Oh no, they asked him if they were mates coming to his
Yeah, I
opening
think like
game.
sharing his success. He talks about how they've been here for the whole journey. So of course, yeah, we share it all together. And then he made a joke that he can't play his fantasy league this year because he is a real manager this year. It's not
Yeah.
fantasy anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know why he still couldn't do it.
Maybe he
I'm
thinks
like,
it's like what the trouble that Tony got into. Like, you know, it's like gambling on the on the
Maybe.
results. It's a bit. That's
Maybe.
how highly they value for FBL.
Yeah.
And maybe
Maybe.
also like his heart, you know, when he's playing against certain teams, he's thinking in his head because we all know how passionate you get about your fantasy team. And maybe he's worried that he'll make a wrong managerial
maybe he
decision.
doesn't want to tempt himself.
Yeah.
Not at all.
He's like, oh shit, I'm playing Liverpool this week. Should I captain Salah? Should I not?
Yeah.
Are we
Well,
going to keep a clean sheet?
Captain
here's-
Maddo.
Here's a player here who had no problem being ruthless in their squad. Reece James
Yeah.
chose not to include a single Chelsea teammate
Oh.
against, and then 3 Liverpool stars in that first matchup.
Did he put himself in?
No, from this screenshot,
not even
I can't
backing
see him.
himself.
He didn't even back himself. He was
Come
backing Liverpool.
on. You got to back yourself.
That's cold blooded. Anyway, maybe that's some karma that hit him.
Yeah,
maybe.
especially if you're an attacking wing back. If you know you're like a defensive mid, you're like, okay, I'm not going to put myself in.
He might have been
But come
planning
on.
to bring himself in the next week.
Yeah,
maybe he's a
true.
really good manager and he's like, you know what,
Maybe.
Liverpool probably going to score.
Or maybe he just knew he was going to be injury prone, so he didn't want to risk having to shuffle those. But
he knows more than most.
Oh fuck! All right, boys. Well, why don't we get into our points? And
Let's do it.
I think Miles is first this week.
I'm definitely first.
Oh,
I've copped
yes.
so much banter in the group chat for this. I think this is my first time in last position. Man, it feels like 5 or 6 years ago. But I'm in last and I'm pumped because it was all strategic, boys.
Oh, come
I left Walker on the bench because if I didn't, then I would have been in 7th and I wouldn't have got the first waiver pick.
Okay.
So call me fucking Malstradamus.
I feel like you got to
I'm
tell us
back.
who you're picking up now. Then
Look, I do like.
We'll get to that though. We'll
I do
get
like
to that.
Doku. Like
I really
it's
hope he doesn't.
it's
Get official.
it's
Count
a bit
Dooku.
of fun,
Count Dooku.
but I might do a bit of a overhaul. So you might see me in the second,
Mhm.
the third.
I think your team
fourth.
needs it, mate. So
It might. I don't know.
Okay,
There's-
well, let's give us a little rundown of how you.
I'll give you a rundown. I got no attacking returns.
Love it.
I got 2s, 3s, 1s. But yeah, the 3s, I just got 2 clean sheets from Tottenham
Wow.
midfielders.
Okay,
That's it.
nice 20 points. Not even 2 per player.
Tottenham midfielders scoring big for you there.
Yeah, they were my hauls. Kulusevski and Richarlison with 3 each.
My hauls.
Yeah, no bones. All right, well then I think I'm next. I was having a good week until Everton players got involved. I've got like 0 from Pickford, 0 from Tarkowski, and then Martinez decided to really fuck things up and score an own goal. So I got -1 from him. So my defense did terribly. Although I will shout out Powell. I did pick him up because
Yep.
Mings got injured.
Yep, that was a good
and
pickup.
straight in for a clean sheet. So that was good.
Yeah, seems guaranteed against Everton at the moment.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it does. I'd say attacking wise, not the best team.
I think we'll see those Everton players drop out of your team soon, right?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Really?
No way.
Oh, especially defensive.
Really?
Wait. We know who the manager is, right?
Yeah,
And their
but,
defensive
mate, they just
record end of
fucking
last
lost
season.
4-0.
I know, but I'm not. My hand doesn't shake that quickly.
Oh, okay.
I think I went with Tarkowski for the long run
Okay.
because I think that he can score 130 points.
I'm predicting a classic Whitey holds him till the 30th week, sitting on 60 points.
Mate, you're just jealous you don't have him.
Just
Okay?
like Grealish.
He was looking
last year.
so
Just
good
gonna
end of
hold
last
on
season.
tight.
Oh,
Okay,
you just
okay,
wait. Let me
okay.
talk about my midfield.
Okay.
All right. You fucking bastards. Matoma. Oh,
Yes.
goal assist, 12
Killing.
points. Chukwuemeka paying off my little draft punt there with 5.
Yep.
Could have been a bigger payoff if he didn't go off injured 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Vissa with 11 as well. So really liking that performance there. It was only 42 points, but I mean, I really got fucked by my defense.
I like the -1.
Yeah, that hurt.
Martinez.
Yeah, that really hurt. Considering, I don't know. That was fucked.
Well, I can raise you
Go.
a -1. I can raise you to a -2.
Oh, what'd you do? Do you have one of those red card players?
I had McAllister.
Fucking hell, how many
Straight
red
red.
cards were there this week?
A lot of red cards.
Does anyone have the number?
I
there was
definitely saw at
5.
least 4 or
It
5.
was crazy.
Yeah.
But
A lot of
was
double yellows.
Yeah. But I think,
Except McAllister.
I mean, I don't know how many there were, but there was definitely one that was from Descent.
yes.
Like one of the yellows was from Descent. I think that was Tomiyasu, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, so I just pipped you this week with points, 44.
Okay.
Not helpful yet getting the -2.
Gains, buddy.
Yeah, gains. But I had quite a few points on my bench. I had 19 points on my bench, which is not good.
I love that for you.
Bit of a
Yeah.
spread. That just means how good your team is.
Yeah.
What was on the bench?
I had my keeper, Flecken, from Brentford.
It kind of sounds like you're swearing when you say his name.
It feels like
Fleckenell,
just
mate.
Fleckenell. Fleckenell.
Yeah.
I had a Cashy boy on the bench, should have played him against Everton, and then Solanke, who got an assist against Liverpool. But yeah,
You had Solanke on the bench.
yeah.
Wow. Ballsy. You know Liverpool can't defend for shit.
I know. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, that was really rookie.
Well, I also made the mistake of playing Colwell, but we'll shout out some of my heroes
I
this
was
week.
just going to say, like, anywhere around Liverpool, you can't find any good defense.
No.
Everton or Liverpool.
Yeah, that's true. The whole city. We've got a plague. But my Liverpool does offer me goals, though, thankfully. So I got some from Diego Jota. Nice 12 points this week. 11 from Odegaard with a surprise pen. And then my boys up front, Awonyi and Alvarez, backing it up week on week.
Fucking good. Yeah, nice work, mate. Well, you're on third position, I think, in our league now.
Yep, third, 3 points behind you.
Yeah.
Who's up top?
I'm up top, baby.
It's tight up top.
That's how I started last year.
It's tight down the bottom
I
as
think I
well.
was first
guys.
for the first, 15 game weeks, and then didn't go so well from there.
Yeah, slowly spreads out.
I'm hoping for something a bit better this year.
We'll see.
We'll see. All right, snack chat. Who's thirsty?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. So, as a tribute to where I've been in Thailand.
You
In case
have
no one
been,
knows.
yeah. No, they know. We told
Yeah,
them.
I did. Actually, I didn't. I did know that.
We were very salty.
I've got you guys some Singer beers. Some of the beers I was smashing on the beach.
Beautiful.
You'll
Yeah.
feel 'em right at home, mate.
And the other one we've got here, not Thai related at all, because someone ate the Thai snack I brought for you. Kinder Chonkies.
Oh,
Dude, I'm massive on Kinder.
They're
Chonky.
new. I'm big on them too. This is brand new. See, look at
Yeah.
the top there. It says new.
what is a tronky?
I don't know.
Is
Here,
it?
Miles
looks,
is going to open
It
them.
looks similar to those little fingers that you can buy.
Yeah. What's really annoying is there's 5 in a pack. I thought there was 6.
Well, that's good because I'm on a diet. I'll only have one.
Wow. I don't know if
I'm
you're going to be
getting-
able to resist.
I'm getting shredded.
I don't know if you're going to be able to resist a second
Yeah, they
one.
look fucking good.
They look pretty tronky. I
They
feel
look
like you
very
could use
chonky.
tronky as a verb.
They just look like a fatter version of these little skinny finger boys, but we'll try it. Anyway, cheers, boys. Back at the season, all three of us together.
Let's do it. Start of the season. Fuck yous all.
Fuck COVID. We're still doing that?
I missed that one. Fuck over was great.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a Thai beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Has that
yeah,
unique taste.
you're in training. You're in training because you're about to go there. You're
Training
like, oh, I
mode.
better fucking get a
Yeah,
couple
get used
singers
to
on the
it.
palate.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow. Oh, you know what it is? It's a reverse bueno.
Oh,
it's-
you're kidding.
It's a bueno and it's just reversed. No, it's not. It's even different inside.
The crunch through the mic was very good.
So
Wow.
wafer on the outside and all the soft chocolatey bit in the middle.
Yeah, and it's a little bit thicker, because a bueno has like a more creamy inside. It's a bit like, call it gooey.
This is a bit drier.
This is drier. This is more like a
Very dry.
Very dry.
Very
You
dry.
know what it reminds me of?
Need
A
some beer
Twix.
to wipe it down.
A little bit like a Twix.
That
not,
is my all.
not the flavor,
close to my favorite chocolate.
The wafer.
but yeah, just the texture.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to jump in early and rate. I quite like it. It is a bit different. I like the uniqueness of it. I'm going to give it a solid 7.2.
You know, a 7 is coming if Hito says solid. I'm going to give it a solid 7.
Look, I like alliteration, okay? I
Yeah.
like the S's.
Can we get a solid counter throughout the season for Hito saying solid?
Yeah, solid.
Yeah,
So I'm not going to
If
do it.
there's
But someone else can.
One per
If
podcast.
there's a fan out there that wants to keep the solid counter going,
Some poor fan.
or a legend fan who might be getting some crazy merchandise at the end of the
We
year.
need sound
We don't
effects,
know.
like a
True.
ding.
Hint, hint. So, yeah. I'm going to give this pretty high, actually.
I like it.
8.4.
Ooh.
That's a good rating.
Because I'm a massive Kinder guy.
Yeah,
Like,
look.
crazy.
It's nice. And then the beer, I'm just going to give it a 6.
He actually gave it a pretty high one. I was expecting like a 4. You like a singer?
Like it's.
I mean,
it's,
that
it's
would
drinkable
mean to me that's Hito liking a beer as a 6.
Yeah, it's like it's drinkable. If it's down near the 5s and less,
It doesn't pair
I don't
amazing
want to
with the
finish it.
chocolate, but I like these.
Yeah. So I was going to give you 7.5 just because I feel like a singer, just, in the middle of being good and great. So 7.5. But
like
for the
that.
pairing, I'm going to drop you 0.5 because it's shocking.
Yeah, well,
It's shocking.
I rate
Thai
Don't
snack.
drop that. Is that too close?
I
to you?
rate
not
that
moving it.
commentary.
Oh, sweet.
I like that. I like the way they approach that.
I'd like to just describe the bottle opener Miles gave me. It's a really heavy little turtle.
That's
I think it's
Terry.
a snapping.
Has he got a name?
Snapper turtle?
Terry.
Terry.
Terry the turtle.
Terry the turtle.
Yeah.
Terry the turtle.
My niece named him.
Well, that is a pretty good name. I like the
Gobbles up
alliteration
bottle
there.
caps.
Okay, we better get into this.
Let's
now,
get into it.
I might give everyone a quick run through of how we're going to run the pod this year. So, we're going to, rather than do our little review of 5 games that we were doing last year, I think we've kind of gone to picking like 10 highlights. And this isn't necessarily a highlight of a goal or anything like that. It might just be a highlight of something that piqued our interest fantasy-wise or a transfer or something like that. So, it's a loose term, but it's just the things that have caught our interest and we think are probably the most interesting to our listeners. Then we're going to move on to a segment that we added last year, Worst and Best, which is kind of like worst and best moments of the game week. Then we go for Stop, Drop, and Hold. Everybody knows. Hito.
Stop sleeping on these bitches.
Thank you.
Bitch.
Drop these bitches and hold on to these bitches. Hold them. Hold them tight.
Hold my hand, child.
And if you don't understand what any of that meant, then you should probably stop listening now because that's how we talk.
I'd say keep listening.
Okay, yeah. Keep
You'll
listening.
understand it when we get to it.
Don't stop listening.
Then we'd like to do a bit of fan questions. So please, if you ever have questions, screenshot your team, send it through. We'll look at everything and we'll talk about it on the pod. And finally, we'll wrap it up with, as always, our top waiver wire picks for this game week. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's start with our highlights.
Yeah, great.
Boys,
Let's go.
It's kind of like a bit of a general one. It's one I put down, so I feel like I've been talking a while, but I'll intro it. It's kind of a bit about United, but more like focusing on Garnacho. He's got another start.
He did. Yeah.
I mean, they haven't looked amazing in their first 2 games, but
No.
plenty of room for improvement. And they didn't look terrible in preseason.
They didn't, exactly. And a lot of people backed United to have a big year, and they haven't obviously started that way. But there is room for improvement. But I would also say there are some quite big worrying signs for United fans and obviously fantasy assets. It hasn't looked good for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you drafted Rashford as the 3rd pick, you'd probably be a little frustrated right now.
I think
You would be.
Yeah.
Maybe a little worried. I can't think of who did it.
Mitch.
Hackett.
Yeah. Saka was the pick there, obviously, but
Yeah.
Rashford won him the league last year, so he got it back.
He's got ties.
I think they'll come around. I wouldn't be too worried if you've got strong assets at this point. It's very early days.
It is.
They're still figuring out a few little things. They're trying to figure out where to play Mount, who's another point here that we have down for United. There's a lot of question marks about the fact that he's so deep, and he's only deep because Bruno's in the 10.
Yeah.
So I think they need to figure that out because it's definitely hindering them.
Maybe a new formation.
I think they need it, man. I feel like instead of this 4-2-3-1, I think they need the 4-3-3 with the single holding mid and then the 2 like inverse
The 2
diamond.
pivot.
Yeah.
Two
That could work.
attacking.
Well, it's interesting. So I'm on the Fantasy Football Scouts website here, just using their season ticker tool. And United, if you set it to attack, United sits 2nd as the best fixtures for an attacking team
Behind Arsenal?
Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham.
Yeah, for an attacking team. Overall, they kind of float down a bit more to like 7th. But yeah, it's rated that their attack should have a pretty good run. And in saying that, like, you can decide for yourself, but they're playing against Forest, then Arsenal, which is not a great fixture, and then Brighton. So there's a bit of a mix there, but then it's Burnley, Palace, Brentford, Sheffield, City, So it's mixed, but they clearly think that they can get some goals against these teams.
And they are attacking team, and we saw that in the highlights this week from the game. If you watched that and got across it, you would see there was chances left, right, and centre.
just not
Bruno
man.
completely open, missed a
Oh.
header, skied it.
I wanted him to just take that on his chest and finish. Like he had so much
It's
time.
like he
on
thought there
that.
were people around him. And then, Anthony hit the post. I think someone else had a long range shot and hit the crossbar. But so there's opportunities there. It's not like they're not creating, which would be your major red flag.
Yeah,
That's
I would
true.
just say that they're maybe lacking a bit of that finishing that might come with a couple more games.
Yep.
It should do, but after the first game.
But that's
they
why I
were
wanted to
just-
highlight Garnacho. Like he is someone that could be sitting around as an opportunity to be picked up, and at the moment he's got the nod over Sancho both times.
Yeah.
So-
So it's also going to be interesting too to see when Hoyland eventually comes into fray.
Yeah, do we have
how
a
that
timeline
impacts
on that?
those wide players. We don't know how that's going to change those things.
Yeah,
But Hoyland, I think he had last time I checked an unknown return date on the site. So
it's going to be
hopefully not too
very
long.
interesting to see how that is worked into the club. Like he's going to have to perform straight away because for starters, he's young. I mean, he's not insanely proven. And
Yeah.
he's a good prospect, and hopefully it works out straight away. But it might not, and we may see a lot of Rashford still playing up the front there.
I think we might. It's not the worst thing in the world because they do have depth out wide
Yeah,
to fill that gap. But I think Rashi does play better as a winger.
yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Okay, let's move on from United, and onto our kind of next highlight. I just want to talk about how on fire Brighton are.
We have to. I think a big starting point before we really dive into it is, are we going to be bitten by predictions that this season would be worse than last? Or have we just got the nice point of the season where we haven't hit European fixtures yet and it hasn't tapered their performance?
Yeah, I think they need a little bit more depth if they're going to get through the Europe period and continue this type of form. I think they just need to, especially after losing Caicedo recently, I think that they're just going to need a little bit more help to get them through the winter.
The winter.
The winter's coming.
Winter's coming.
Winter's coming.
I agree, and they are rumored. I don't know the name of the guy, but there was someone that they're buying.
Snow finishes Snow.
Yeah. Surname's Snow.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Oh my God, it is Jonathan, isn't it? Oh my
John.
God. John Snow.
It was Jonathan.
Jonathan
Snow.
Snow.
But in saying that, they've really come out of the gates flying.
Oh.
They're already rotating. Like Yao Pedro got the start, and now this week, and
Yes.
Ciso came in, and fuck, did he look good?
Yeah.
He looked amazing.
That ball with the outside of his foot, the assist to
March.
on March, because he assisted both of March's goals, and then the other assist was pretty nice too. Honestly, I know that Yao Pedro scored a pen, I think, in the first game week, but in Ciso playing that well in that position,
And it's going to be really frustrating because De Zerbi commented on it, their manager, saying that, I'm lucky to have, good quality players across the squad. So depending on condition, mentally and physically, I'm going to be able to rotate. Not what you want to hear when you've got some of these assets,
Yeah.
but I think he's going to have to because he's probably already thinking, I'm going to have limited boys to play multiple comps this year.
Yeah.
I've got to rotate more regularly throughout the season. I think this might be a
So-
symptom we're going to see this.
So a question then is, like, seeing how well Enciso just played and knowing that he's kind of one of those players that will be subject to rotation, is he still too good not to pick up? Like, you have to go. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Look, I think that as soon as you get to like maybe an 8-man, definitely 9, he's got to be in a team.
I just like after
6,
the
7
run
man
he had
leagues.
at the end of last season, we saw what he was capable of. And now just to even see that one performance, seeing how confidently he was passing that ball and how, like, I don't know. And De Zerbi also said he was the man of the match, making things even more
Definitely.
complicated, saying he was the best man on the field. So I just think, like, you kind of have to pull the trigger on him for the most part.
I think so too. We also need to learn a little bit more about how De Zerbi approaches rotation.
Yeah, because he only got 2 minutes in the first game, started this game 66 minutes. So already there's rotation stats. So that's the one thing that concerns me.
I'd be at least having a go this game week against West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some harder fixtures with Newcastle United.
This is the time to jump on him, though.
Yes,
'cause
you do
in
need to
such a
jump now.
prolific Brighton attack. If you were to not take the chance on, let's say you're dropping whatever your fifth mid is, unless you've drafted all big names, man, he looks really interesting to me.
He does. So it's West Ham, then Newcastle, United, Bournemouth. So 2 out of 4 is not too bad. But
Yeah.
Brighton are Brighton. They'll probably score against United and Newcastle. So
Look, on that same fixture, season ticker, fixture ticker thing, whatever they call it, on the fantasy site, they're ranked right down 16th or 15th for the attack. So they don't have a great run. But you'd expect them to potentially get some goals there. I mean,
Brighton
they proved
loves
us wrong
proving
all
wrong.
year.
Yeah.
So I do like the look of him.
I think that's a good shout. It's worth jumping on before we learn any more. And you take the risk of missing him. So I think that's a good shout. But I think, boys, we need to talk about someone who's not a question mark of are they going to start or not.
Who are you talking about?
Matoma.
Oh, you'd love to have him, wouldn't you?
What a goal.
That was
what
such a good goal.
Already putting his name forward for goal of the season, right?
That was ridiculous.
I know. He just shredded
so
through them.
strong.
And just, yeah. And that's what you want to see a player doing at the beginning of the season. Scoring a goal like that, the confidence that gives.
Yeah.
Very excited about him. I'm really hoping for a big season from him.
Yeah. I mean, maybe early thoughts. What are you thinking maybe about leveraging mid-season?
It's crossed my mind. And I'm not even at mid. Like, fairly early. If
Okay.
he just goes on a tear right now, I might just see what I can get.
You get something big, yeah.
Yeah, because obviously, we talked about all the things that could happen with Brighton. I have to be careful because, as Hito told us in our draft, I actually made my team worse over the season. He did a calculation, as you boys know, of all of our teams, how the team would have gone that we drafted and how the team that we ended up went in our total score. And mine was about 100 points less. But I did kind of know that was coming because I
did
had a
some
couple of
analytics, yeah.
very slow starters like Watkins and stuff that had to be dropped.
Yeah.
And Foden. No, not Foden. Grealish. Grealish was the other one. Anyway. But yeah, so
March.
I'm a little bit scared of drop. Did I have?
Yeah.
Oh,
You had a
God.
lot.
Just don't even tell me anymore.
I think it's more than 100. I don't know where you're getting those numbers from.
It was a big
actually,
drop.
No, because he picked up players, not the ones we drafted compared
Yes.
to... Yeah.
Yeah, so some of them did perform. Some of the players I picked
Yeah,
up.
the opportunity points lost is a different.
Because I
Yeah.
did that analysis if the listeners listened to one of our pods last season.
I think it was the finale.
It was
Yeah,
the finale.
I think it was like 300
What a
points.
send off. It was
I tell you
fantastic.
what, I appreciated that pod so much. I felt so vindicated.
I might have ruined us.
I felt so
Maybe,
good.
yeah, he was so upset with himself that he put so much work into this draft because he drafted like a fucking champ this year. We're in trouble.
Thank you, boys.
But we know how he goes. He gets
Yeah.
nervy after game week 5. He'll start dropping.
You know how people
star
get
players.
nervous?
Apparently, I don't have to
drafts.
touch anything. So that's what I'm going with this year. Don't touch anything.
Don't touch anything.
Unless it's a season-ending injury.
Don't touch it unless it's broke. Don't broke unless it's fixed.
yeah. Okay. Look, very quickly before we move on from Brighton, Estupinian.
Estupian.
Yeah, it's an opinion.
Stupid.
It's opinion.
This is your opinion.
Your stupid opinion.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get out. Estupinian. Anyway, look, he looks like he's going to get in the goals. He's so in there, he's so attacking. Another player I think
One of
is
the
a
top
lock.
defenders last year.
I just think that he's one of the guys, unless he gets injured from playing too much, he will probably play most of the season,
Yeah.
regardless of, Champions League. Not Champions League. What do they play? Europa. Football. But yeah, I just think like if you got him, don't worry about him.
Look, let's talk about some fantasy royalty. JWP, he's back in the Prem.
It's back, baby.
Did you see in the preseason, like not the preseason, the pre-game, like when they show the formations and stuff? There's like every year, there's like a new graphic and how they do it.
Yeah.
And this year
Oh,
it's
he's-
like cards that flip.
Yeah.
So like it starts and you just see their number and then it flips around and I'm like watching and then it flips and it's him doing the golf swing celebration. I was
Yes.
like, fuck
I
yes.
did see
it's
that.
so hard not to love him.
I thought we wouldn't be able to do the pod if he didn't stay in the Prem.
That
Yeah.
was a great signing to me.
He's like our spirit animal.
And you know, West Ham is like, I think he's a
Ben Mee too.
perfect person for West Ham.
Dude, he looks so normal in that kit.
Yeah.
I was just like, have you always played there? Like, it was weird.
I'm surprised more people didn't go for him.
Me too.
Let's just talk about the performance.
Yeah.
Because this guy, I think he looked better than he did at Southampton.
Well, it's because he
Me
has
too.
better players times 10.
Like,
And she
he-
has defenders that can head a ball in from a
some
corner.
of the corners that he was dropping in,
Oh my
I was
God.
like, man, why didn't Chelsea sign him?
I know. That's what I was
Would have
thinking.
saved a little bit of money.
We could have had a good pen taker.
But also, that's exactly where he's playing. He's just playing him behind the striker, which
He did for a little bit at Southampton.
He did-
There was like 10, 15 weeks he played
but
there.
he didn't play there a lot, which
he
means
killed
to
it.
me, like, he is going to be a massive creative outlet. He's going to be, and you can see that he's got 2 assists in this game.
I'm actually
He
kind of
looked
annoyed I didn't
amazing.
jump on him.
Me too. Well, I mean, how would you know he was going to play in
And
that
also-
position? He could have been down in the
No,
pivot.
I know, but just we should have had faith.
I know. But look, he is looking frothy after watching that Chelsea
And he didn't even
game.
take the pen.
I know.
So if he gets on those permanently, which is very likely, because how do you ignore that
Yeah,
pen
you can't.
consistency?
And shout out to our newest member of our league, Charlie. He was in bottom. He had first waiver wire pick this week.
Is that who he went for?
JWP straight
Wow.
away. No one had the opportunity to even get him.
Yeah, okay. Well, then
on
I don't feel
waivers.
that bad.
But like,
Still, good pick.
Impressive.
Very
yeah,
impressive.
So, look, I think, he's definitely one we need to look at. Another highlight, a sad highlight now.
Someone we shouldn't be looking at.
Reece James.
Yeah.
Injured. He's out for just over a month.
is that confirmed now?
Yeah,
Did you
there's a
decide that?
timeline.
Yeah.
I don't know. I read a timeline today that was just over a month, which is better than I thought it was going to be.
I
But
saw some crazy stat today as I was just flicking through my newsfeed, and then it refreshed on me, but it was something about like the amount of games he's played over the last however many seasons or how many starts he's made, and it was fucking mind-blowing how little it was.
I know, it's crazy.
He's
It was
made
like
of glass.
14 starts in a season he averages or something along those lines. It was
Yeah.
really bad.
It's just sad because I think it's just I genuinely feel it's sad when a player of that much talent just is injured all the time. Like, I don't know. I mean, like, Wilshere is a perfect example.
The potential.
Like, he was just looked so amazing, and then just injury after injury after injury, just
Yeah.
never made an impact. And it's just sad to see someone with that much skill just never be able to kind of like, come to their
Actually,
potential.
hit their full
Like, I don't care
capacity.
what team they play for. It's just sad for a player that's like, that's a
Yeah, that
talented
good.
individual who works their ass off and they can't.
Boys, I want to get back
but
to a
yeah.
bit of fantasy
Sorry,
talk.
yeah.
No, because
Sad.
I want to talk about all of the penalty takers
Oh, yeah.
that took pens this game week.
I don't want to fucking talk about it.
So we got Paqueta.
Yeah, taking it for instead of JWP.
Yep. So we'll see how long that lasts.
Interesting too, just very quick
I know,
note
I
on
wanted to-
Paqueta. I was
yeah.
talking to a West Ham fan today in the office, and he was surprised about how pumped up he was for the game. Like when he won a throw in, he was like just screaming celebration. He did the big hammers X on his hand. Like,
Wow.
you know, there's talk of transfers away.
To City, isn't
Yeah,
it?
normally you see a player kind of down tools. They don't get on the bench. They don't play.
Yeah.
So I think he might stay.
But have you heard?
And there has been a bit of talk about some betting controversies
For him.
for him,
Yeah.
which might actually destroy his transfer opportunity.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So I guess there's a little bit more information to come out of that, but
Yeah.
there's a bit going on right now. Chat about that.
Ooh,
So
TBC.
it could affect his, his potential for people this year. But maybe just set a Google alert on his name and stay on top
Hold
of that
fire,
one.
hold fire for
Stay
now.
vigilant.
The next one, guys, I want to talk about is Enzo. I didn't think that he would be on pens, personally. You mentioned yesterday that you thought it could be a possibility.
There's something about him that seems cool. Like, he just seems like one of those minds. Like, I would never have ruled out the fact that he could do it.
Yeah.
But wasn't the best of pens.
So it wasn't, but because he's on them, that actually increases his fantasy prospects.
Do you think he'll stay on them?
Yeah, I reckon he's Argentinian.
There's no one
man.
else-
Poch is going to back his man.
There's no one else there that should be taken.
I
I
don't
think
really know who it would be.
I think he'd give him another opportunity.
Jackson.
I think it would-
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know any of their
Striker?
pen records. I haven't looked into it enough to even have
I
an
think he's
opinion.
taking the next pen. He's taking the next one, and
Okay.
maybe after that they might reconsider. But I think
Enzo's
that
gonna be
how
yeah.
creative he looks,
Oh my god.
there is a pretty decent fantasy prospect. So I think that is one to monitor,
Chelsea
especially
could
for this.
Someone you
some of his
wouldn't normally
fucking
look at.
opportunities.
Yeah.
I
is
think
now.
assists are coming. I mean,
and
it's
the
still the start of the
fixtures,
season.
the fixtures are juicy.
But also, not to mention as well, now he's got Caicedo. Depending on what formation they end up locking in, whether it is a 4-2-3-1 and Caicedo's more the holding mid, box to box, and then Enzo's given a little bit more license to push forward and create even more, or it's like a 4-3-3 or something like that where they've got Caicedo in the middle and
He's one of the
he's
more
playing-
running ones.
Yeah, he might just get a bit more assist potential, but like we've seen in those first two games, he was threading balls through in both of the games to the attack. And look, they weren't finishing all those chances, but if those opportunities keep coming from him, which it looks like they will, I actually do think he's more of a prospect this year.
Me too. Which actually brings me to my next one, which is Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
We saw that he has a lot of potential, not just as a penalty taker. He's on every corner. He's on most free kicks.
It's about
And
160 points last year, I think it
160.
was.
So, and he's in a very, very good looking team.
I know. Another one that's got a great run of fixtures right now. Aston Villa looking, pretty nice. They've got Burnley. Liverpool's obviously one of them blips, but then Crystal Palace, Chelsea, who can let in a goal.
Yeah.
Brighton the same.
And we did tout
Wolves,
them to be
West Ham, Luton.
one of the underdogs this season. So, not the underdogs, but one of the most dark horses.
He was
I think
decent
that's
on
what
my
we're talking about.
my waiver list.
Yeah.
He was pretty close to getting in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's available in our league. I had a little peek.
No, I
Yeah,
think he got
he-
drafted.
I think
He was drafted, but he got
Oh, he
dropped.
got
He got dropped.
I think it was Charlie dropped him for
The overhaul is
JWP.
Why did I fucking say anything?
Yeah.
Anyway, I really like him, but again, he's one of those players you'll probably have to sit on all season to see any results and play him every match.
Yeah, but in deeper leagues, I'm liking it.
Okay.
The last one I just want to mention is Odegaard.
Yeah.
So we saw last year Saka on pens. He did miss one in preseason. We don't know if this has been the reason, but Odegaard looked pretty spicy on him.
He looked good, and actually Arteta came out saying that he didn't know that they were going to do that.
Well,
and
Saka
said-
passed
and
him the ball.
Said the players made the decision on the pitch, so
Did they? Okay.
don't know what the reason was, but we'll wait and see if that turns into a long-term thing.
The one thing they did say, that I was watching analysis of that moment, and they said that Saka held on to the ball until the very last minute. So they think as well could have been tactical just to throw the keeper off. So he's like, oh, I'm taking a pen against Saka, and then all of a
Going
sudden
through all
it's
the-
Odegaard.
The research.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's Odegaard taking a pen who they've never seen. Well, I haven't seen many pens from him. I think he hadn't taken one since 2019 or something.
Fuck, that's Fergie shit right
so,
there.
yeah. So, anyway.
because they needed the win. They were
Well, yeah. But
hadn't scored yet.
what I'm saying is
0-0.
it might not be Saka just off pens. It might not be as easy as that. It might just not be Odegaard on them. There might have been a bit of tactical play there. So
Okay.
take it with a grain of salt. Next one. I think this is something you popped in.
Yeah, the Brentford boys. I think we just got to give a bit of a shout out to 2 weeks in a row. We've got Wissa and Mbeumo
Yep.
hitting the points. Like Wissa, we had probably more question marks over just because he hasn't played a lot for Brentford, and he's playing up front and he's killing it.
We've always rated him though.
But yeah,
Like,
he's never
come
got
on and
the
had minutes,
mins.
but now he's getting the mins, and
Yeah.
there's a bit of the. I think it was. Oh my god, I've just forgotten the manager's name for them.
Oh, Frank. Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank, said oh, we're not worried about losing Tony because we've got Vissa, known goal scorer, and da 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 da. So really,
Here we go.
supporting the player, and so I think we should expect to see him do pretty good things.
And we can look at other Brentford assets as well. You know,
we had
like
him pretty
Rico
high in our
Henry.
draft list, didn't we? So
We did, yeah.
Yep. Next one, I think Miles should talk about this.
Okay, well, I mean, it's Hito's player,
Oh,
but
yeah, I want to hear it.
yeah, Miles should talk
Wax
about
lyrical
this.
about
Yeah,
my
fuck
player.
on. Go
okay.
on.
So Alvarez,
Who?
Alvarez,
Julian.
you don't like that?
I'm just enjoying.
No, I just
the fact
wanted you
that
to
we're
say it
making
again.
You talk about his play.
Look, I mean, we said it last week, I think, on the pod that he's
did.
just increased in value now that KDB's gone. His minutes are going to increase.
The Doku dude.
Doku, yeah, but he's got to work he's got to work himself into that team. Like Alvarez really played well for his first season last year, being that kind of person of
He likes
Haaland.
to bring people in slowly.
Yeah.
Pep.
Yeah.
But now Alvarez, a lot of our fans actually were messaging me saying, "Do not sleep on Alvarez this year."
I know, and I kind of feel the same. I was going to draft him. Like, he went a little bit earlier than I wanted.
I was going to draft him as my third, and then he took him.
I just thought he could have slept.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what
just
I
a
thought.
little bit longer. I wasn't going to wait much more. I think it was probably even within a couple of picks of when I would have picked him. But I was just like, oh, fuck, I don't know. And obviously rotation and Pep and all that shit.
Yeah.
And KDB wasn't injured yet. But now that KDB is injured, you're just like, oh, this could be.
It adds value for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And what a goal. We just got to say.
Oh, fuck.
The goal itself.
Yeah,
Fucking
top
banger.
pins across the face.
Fucking banger.
Tidy.
Yeah,
Tidy as
So
fuck.
confident.
Okay, let's
Speaking
move
of
on
good goals.
to a fucking the goal of the week. Oh, Matoma.
Yeah.
Okay, Matoma's
It's up
goal,
there.
but
It's up there.
Luis Diaz's finish was incredible.
That little acrobatic, like, flicks it up and then kind of semi overheads it in.
I love it.
It happens so fast. It's
Yeah.
like bam, bam.
And to think that his brain moved that quickly to realize I'm not getting a shot away on the ground. I've got to put it in the air.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, insane.
Yeah,
He's in
Insane.
form, guys.
he is
2 and 2.
He is in form. I was a bit concerned about his contribution for the rest of the game.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty poor.
Oh,
So, I don't know. I'm not 100% confident that he's...
Gakpo coming back, baby.
And Hito is literally the most critical Liverpool fan of them all, so he
Yeah.
would know.
Yeah, he is a
He would
critical
know.
bastard. I mean, you saw how he is with Everton.
Yeah.
Gotta
They're just-
them all.
They're just near Liverpool,
Liverpool.
Stadium. And he's just like, fuck them all. Let's get fuck them all.
So, yeah, not dying.
Okay, another good goal.
Yes.
Semenyo.
Semenyo.
He looked really good against Liverpool. He
Okay,
had
I was wondering.
lots of opportunities.
Yeah.
Definitely not Brentford's, Bournemouth's best player.
That's what I heard too.
And he's a forward, so a position that we normally struggle to find depth and options with. I think he provides a really interesting one.
But is he playing as a forward or is he playing more as just a winger?
Is
Or is he playing up alongside?
He's playing definitely up front. I'm not sure 100% what his position was, but he was definitely very advanced. So it's not like he's sitting deep and he's misclassified.
Well, they just made a signing of, oh my God, the American guy, Tyler
Oh, Adams.
Adams, that everyone was kind of rumored for a minute. They signed him up. So that might shore up kind of their defensive midfield. He's more of a box-to-box player, that kid, right?
I think he's a mid.
Oh,
I
he's
don't
a
think he's
mid.
an attacker, but
Yeah.
slight concern about Bournemouth's fixtures coming up. A little bit tricky. Spurs, Brentford, Chelsea, Brighton, Arsenal.
Ooh, that's
But
tough.
once you get through that, you've then got Everton, Wolves, Burnley. So
Bit of light at the
if
end
it's
of the
your
tunnel.
third forward, it might be just a nice,
Something, yeah.
safe future pick.
Okay.
Let's talk about the transfers
Yeah.
that have happened since we last potted.
Yeah, so there's a few here. There's like obvious ones like Raya has made his move official now. It's a loan, which is
Yeah.
kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it's so weird. This whole
Why?
thing, I don't get.
I don't get why.
Go
And
for it,
Brentford
Ben.
wanted the money. They were all window was talking about, they've got to meet our valuation, and then they happily accept the loan.
But then, like, wouldn't you
Fee.
think he'd kind of reduce in value if he's just sitting on Arsenal's bench for a season?
But maybe with a keeper it's different because
I don't
you know.
And they've locked in the price as well
Yeah.
to purchase
Yeah.
after. But anyway, very odd. Then another keeper's come in, Tim Krul. We kind of mentioned very
Fantasy
early.
royalty.
Yeah,
Oh, kind of.
just from
Well, what, he played at
longevity.
Newcastle and
Longevity.
Norwich. That's
Yeah.
where he's moved from to Luton.
Oh, he was Newcastle. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he was actually decent at Newcastle.
He was,
but
yeah.
he got a few injuries, but yeah, he's back in the Prem. Nothing too exciting there, fantasy-wise. As we said, we've been talking about Doku. Apparently, terms have been agreed. And I think Rennes have accepted an offer of like 60 mil euros. So definitely a fantasy prospect. I think it'd be hard not to consider him one of the top ones. But
People will definitely take a punt on it, but
I
I'm a
think
bit
you
hesitant.
might have to be wary.
He hasn't scored a lot of goals in Ligue 1.
Yeah. Ligon.
Oh, très.
Leron.
Sacré bleu.
Now, this is one that's been talked about, but finally has come about. Mitrovic has moved to Al Hilal.
We
Yeah.
thought it was on hold and wasn't going to go because Fulham didn't want to sell, but apparently he's chucked a tantrum and he's off.
It's crazy.
He's done a Guaida. Guaita.
28 years old and he's off there. Anyway, it's crazy to me. But I guess he likes money.
What's this last one that you've got? I don't know too much about this.
Look, his name's Zaniolo. I don't know a whole lot about him.
He's Italian attacking midfielder.
Yes, that's what I did know.
He better be
winger.
Italian. With
That was the part
name.
I was going to say, so Hito could go to all that part. He knows.
Okay, sorry. I just jumped in early.
You
Just got
did.
excited.
Tell me.
So,
So-
Hito.
Played for Roma. Recently coming from Galatasaray, where only played 10 games last season, scoring 5 goals. In Roma, wasn't super known for being a goal scorer. His max output over the last couple of years was 6 goals in 1920. 1990, 2000, not 1990, God.
You said
2019.
1920.
In 19/20,
Oh,
the
God.
season.
Yeah.
So he's not a hauler, but we don't know. Villa,
But
very
is he
attacking.
a baller?
He is a bit
Or
of
a
a
shot
baller.
cola.
Look, it will be interesting because he's been brought in to kind of replace Buendia. But Bailey has kind of come into the
And
lineup.
Diaby's there. There's so much competition.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Buendia I thought was nailed. He was pretty high, not high on my list, but I was liking Buendia as a pickup for the draft. Obviously got injured before we drafted. He has a long injury, so they had to go into the market to replace him. The question is, will it be Bailey that kind of gets those preferred minutes, or will Zaniolo kind of come straight in and take Buendia's spot?
Might be a wait and see potentially.
It is a bit, but I think if you're in like 10-man leagues, the potential of kind of getting into that Aston Villa attack in the next like little while, which we said is second on the list of best kind of attacking fixtures. Oh no, not attacking, but best fixtures overall. I think they are. I think it's a kind of a good idea to kind of get in and see if you can take a risk. If you can't get Bailey, I'd probably like prioritize Bailey slightly higher than Zaniolo.
Yeah, just because he's already playing. That makes sense.
And he's goal assist this week as well. Anyway, that's it. That's it for transfers. I'm done.
Done.
I'm fucking
moving
done.
on.
Let's just do our last point here, though.
Oh.
We're talking about Forest's form.
Yeah, just formed from
Talk to us about
2 key boys. So my
Awoniyi.
boy Awoniyi,
Yeah.
2-2 baby, and apparently 6 in a row.
Hito's calling Awoniyi as the sleeper of the season. It's an early call, but it's got potential.
Huge call.
I love this just chat
Huge
being
call.
thrown at me.
It's got potential.
I know I've made you talk about my player before, but I know now he's talking about my predictions for me as well.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, look, there might be a new
I think it's
Malsadama.
very early. I think it's very
Could
early
be a
to
sleeper.
calling that. Well, look, the one thing to watch out for is back on my season ticker here. I'm looking at Nottingham Forest at the very bottom. They've got United, they got Chelsea, then they got Burnley, City, Brentford, Palace. It's not a great run in the next couple of game weeks.
It's not.
So we're gonna. It's not. So we'll see. But the thing is, they've been performing well, and it'd be hard. It's kind of hard to ignore those form players. I think Awoniyi is one. Aurier with 2 assists this game.
He had a bit of returns last year as well, Serge Aurier.
He did.
So look, maybe dive in, but I don't know. For me, I think that they're probably going to struggle for a little while. So you might be able to get them later after those bad fixtures.
Yeah.
Okay. A new segment.
Worst and best.
Worst and best. All right.
What's
now,
yours?
Am I starting?
Yeah.
Okay. Look, I'm a little bit biased, but my best for this week was Matoma's goal. He's in my team. I can't deny that I was very, very happy with that goal. Shreds the defense.
Look, we
We've
all
already
were.
talked about it. It was frothy as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
It was sexy.
It was really nice. That's exactly what you want to see. So, yeah, that was my best for the week. Worst, Reece James injury.
Yeah. That was
It cuts me up. I nearly could have talked the whole pod about how sad I am that he's injured.
Yeah, I had to cut you off before.
I know. I was getting into a dark place.
I know. I saw your eyes start, getting a bit watery. It was getting a bit tough.
What's yours, Hito?
So for me, the best
Yeah.
is related to the Women's World Cup final.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Talk to us.
Out of
It was
fantasy.
really entertaining
It was a good game, wasn't it?
and also more entertaining for me because my wife, who doesn't watch football, watched it with me
Oh, wow.
and was the most vocal I've ever seen her
Oh, really?
watching
See.
anything in the world because she
Really?
fucking hates England.
Oh.
Oh,
that's
After
sad.
how they played against the Matildas.
Oh my god.
She thought they were
Wow.
like brutes and thought they were so rough
Bandwagon
and
cat.
bad sports because they were time wasting. So she
wow.
was so anti-England. It
really?
was hilarious.
Wow.
She's sitting there going, "Yeah, if you can't take it, don't dish it out."
Oh my god, I
It's
really
like, Tom,
wish
who
I
you,
was there.
so Tom, who are you going for? I'm like, oh, well, I don't know. Like, Spain's definitely the better team. I'll probably go. And she's like, no, pick a team. And I'm like, Spain? She's like, yeah, that's right. I'm like,
And you've got family in England too.
Wow.
I know. So I was going for Spain. So that was just really entertaining watching her get fired up. So
wow. Yeah, you know what's funny is Kelly's the same.
Yeah.
About the English. She's like, oh. And I'm like, what's the problem? And she's like, who are you going for? I'm like, well, I was kind of thinking you're going for England. She's like, oh, okay. But yeah, Kelly was getting into it too, and she doesn't watch a lot of football, but she likes it.
Yeah.
But she doesn't watch much. But it was pretty funny watching.
It was very
her.
entertaining.
It's funny how they had the same reaction.
I
They should
know.
be mates.
I know. We shook them up.
Yeah.
And then my worst for the week was McAllister's red card.
That I don't think that was a red.
Yeah. It was a little bit harsh, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully they get the 3 games rescinded to down to 1.
Yeah.
Or completely. Because I think now that we've got a defensive mid, there's some prospects with him again in the team, not playing the 6.
Yeah.
So worst, but also promising because we saw our new boy come on. And Milo, what about you, mate?
Look, my best was actually Ange. You know, just
Yeah, it's
just
a good one.
Ange beating United. I
That
think
was good.
That would have
Loved
been a
that for him.
massive thing for
Solid
like the bucket
2-0.
list for him.
First
And
game at home.
If that's all he gets, I'll be happy.
Yeah,
Just
I
that.
still think Tottenham have a lot to do, but I think that it's a bit of a project and it's a working process.
Yep.
And look, my worst is obvious. It's Chelsea spending £240 million to concede a pen and then to miss a pen. It was pretty
Yep.
hard to watch.
It
and
was.
I've been copping shit
Expensive.
all over the shop.
Yeah.
Dude, Casado
Too expensive
came on with
mistakes.
so much nervous energy. Like, when you can see a
They're trying
player
too
that just
hard.
wants to do the best they can do. and then just
Justify
like-
that transfer fee.
I don't really
I'll
even
show
know
you
what
why I'm
position he was
110.
playing. But he's like a massive Chelsea fan too. And
Yeah.
like,
I saw some, I don't know if it was real or not, but there was like quotes from like years past where it was like, oh, I've always dreamt of playing for United. Oh, I've always dreamt of playing
Oh,
for Real
really?
Madrid. Don't know if it was real though. It's hard to know with
Yeah.
those memes, but it was quite funny.
okay, let's move on because we're deep into this pod now and we still haven't done our stop drops. So let's do our stop drop and holds. For me, my stops for this week, I think March is a little bit obvious, but he went so far down in our draft. I thought maybe he could have gone and noticed in other drafts. So 3 goals in 2 games, you can't deny it. I mean, I'm definitely skeptical of him, and as all of last season I was. At the start of this season, I'm like, he can't back it up, and here he is again, 3 goals. So I don't know. I think that's almost enough for me to be like, you got to have him in a team. Douglas Luiz is a stop to me now that we've seen him on a pen.
Yep.
And as we said before, those fixtures looking really good and that team is looking great. And finally, Nketiah looked really sharp.
He did look sharp.
And has in both of the games and is preferred over Havertz now. I think, if you can grab him just for that part while Jesus is out, pretty good.
I think that's a good shout. I also have Semenyo.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Is he a stop?
Well, just because he was a bit of a just lively.
I think any bit of form at this point of the season is a stop because we don't have heaps of data.
I guess so.
So we got to kind of, jump
He's on
on
10
things
points.
quick.
And do you know why? It's
He
also
didn't even start last week, but he did get an assist.
that's why I was thinking it. It's 2 returns in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I get you.
Gives you a little bit of an outsider pick. He probably is available.
Okay.
I was thinking, obviously, we talked about how tough the fixtures are, but I thought we need to recognise that little bit of form from him. Recognise. And then JWP, we just got to jump on and just, again,
Yeah.
give our boy some shout out. He needs minutes.
Look, I wrote down Bailey. I know we've spoken about him, but I think that he could have also gone unnoticed. Just like
You just stole my waivers, dude.
well,
You just go down to my waivers?
No, I actually just went to the form page, and
I found it fine.
the second one that I want to
You can't put him as a fucking stop.
sorry, the other one I want to mention is Antonio because we know that forwards go few and far between, and Antonio he actually looked really good in this game against Chelsea. So, look, if you need a
Good
forward,
goal.
It was nice.
he is a bit of a form player. So if he gets on a bit of a tear, you could actually be printing of picking him up off the waiver.
I know, and we've also said JWP is so good right now. Like, he's only going to improve Antonio's chances. So, yeah, I think so. All right, let's get to our... Oh, no, hang on. We haven't even done our
Do we have any drops?
drops.
We got drops.
We got drops, man.
So Mings, obviously, with his injury.
yeah.
Yep, definitely need to do that.
What else we got?
We also got Perisic here on the list.
That's interesting.
There's been definitely lacking in minutes.
I don't know. He's not getting much. And I just don't think he'll be... I think he'll just be a fringe player again. Like, he wasn't even that focused last season. He's another year older. He's going to be used, like, tactically.
Yeah,
Like,
he's coming on for
obviously got
15 and 20 minutes, but
He doesn't seem
He
like a
doesn't
full 90-minute Ange player.
No.
Ange likes full presses and
Yeah,
all that stuff.
Exactly.
So he
to
can't
me,
do that.
he's just not going to be that. I got Dallo here. Wan-Bissaka seems to be preferred on that right back role for now.
One to watch, though.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think if they decide that they want a more attacking...
It might not be a full drop if you're in a deeper league, but for short man leagues, you might have to make a
I don't know.
make a
I'm
call.
being ruthless here, man.
Yeah. What's our last one? Fabianski?
Fabs.
It ain't looked good, has it?
No, I mean, look, it was talked about a lot pre-season that he was probably going to be knocked down the pecking order to Areola.
Areola,
And
yeah.
Areola started the first two, so I can't see any reason why
Made some
Fabianski's
good
going to come
saves
back
too.
in. So, yeah, to me, he's a drop for sure.
And then for myself, I'm just flagging Everton players. Like, I just feel worried. Like, there's been no goals in 2 games,
Yeah.
conceding 5 in 2.
It's not good, is it?
I think it's a bit worrying.
Yeah, look,
Like, if you've seen these names that we've been talking about tonight as options and you're holding an Everton player that you could swap them with, I think you'd do it.
yeah, I don't know. I kind of like want to see. I just want for the only player I like. For me, I've got
Tarkowski.
Tarkowski and Pickford.
Right.
Pickford, I'm happy to sit on as my second keeper for a minute because I think that they will fix their defensive issues. Like, it's the very beginning of the season. Dash is known for good defense, clean sheets, all that business. So I don't know. I kind of want to see where that goes.
And 2 great fixtures coming up, Wolves and Sheffield United. So that should actually give us a little bit, the information that we need to make this decision.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
the 2 games we've seen, it's just too early for me to start dropping them. Even though I'm not like expecting massive things from Tarkowski,
Yeah.
I think he could have a good season if he does anything like what he did at the end of last season as soon as Dash came in. So
Sure.
let's just see where that goes. All right.
I've got a hold for us.
Oh, yeah?
Darwin.
Yeah, I think it's just, that's hold.
Obviously, you're not going to drop, and you're not going to probably have the strength of a trade right now. So you probably just need to sit on that and wait for things to progress as rotation and things start coming to play because he's 2 bench appearances so far.
And what do you say about United players as a bit of a hold? With that
Oh,
kind of a
yeah.
potential for the attack, having good fixtures. And
I think so. I think if you've got Anthony, you might be less nailed on, but you could potentially see what happens. But I don't know.
Okay, boys, let's get to our fan questions.
Yeah, so I've just got one, boys. Southie, she's back. Big fan favorite of the pod.
I want to know how she drafted.
So this is her draft.
This is her team?
Yeah, so this is her team. And the only move that I think that she's made so far, because this was her week 1 team, was she took out Kepa because she didn't know the news as well. And she's replaced him with Sanchez.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
good. Hito, I noticed, did the exact same swap.
So
I tried to.
Oh, you didn't get it?
Nah, I didn't get it.
I misread that. You got Flecken.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to shout out to our listeners because I know that they really like knowing the Southie story because it's the continuous storyline that we have throughout our season of one of our fans.
Yeah.
So her defense goes White, Dunk, Varane, Shah, and Thiago Silva.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid in the back.
Yeah, the defense is solid.
The
For sure.
midfield guys, Odegaard, Bowen, Kulusevski, Grealish, Elise
Pretty
as a little
solid.
sleeper.
Yeah.
I think Elise is now staying, so that makes it super valuable. Obviously injured.
Yeah, that's one thing.
I think
How injured he
Cooley's
is, I haven't
Cooley's
heard.
the spot where she can potentially move on if he doesn't come through. But
That's it.
the rest
but
of it's
a
pretty
nice little
solid.
punt with him.
But there's
Yeah.
a bit of upside, I think.
Well, there's upside too, but she's got room to move
Yeah.
if she needs to, and solid players with Bowen and Grealish and Odegaard.
Yeah.
And the forwards to round it out, Isak, Nketiah, and Ings.
Look, Isak's the big dog there for
Oh, yeah.
sure. Dingsy, I think, is not going to last long.
I think
in
she can
her
definitely
lineup.
maybe drop Ings for Antonio or something.
Yeah, I think that's be a good move. I mean, I'd be looking to move him on quickly because Nketiah's time in that role is limited.
And we called out a lot of forwards tonight, so
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
options out there.
I think
Yeah.
Southie send us available forwards, and I'll do a bit of analysis through the week.
Yeah, yeah. And for those who don't know, Southie, Miles drafted for Southie last year. She's one
Yeah.
of our listeners.
One year,
she was
yeah.
away, and yeah, Miles did it for her. I'm not sure it was the best job he's ever done on a draft, but he gave it a good crack.
Clearly didn't get asked to draft again this year.
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
I didn't.
She
but
made sure she wasn't camping.
I will say, like, that was my first time doing 30-second picks in a 10-man league, and it was 5 a.m. Sydney time because she's from Cali.
yeah.
And it was fucking early. I was up all night, and I drafted okay for the time. It just didn't work out too well.
Look, props
All
to
right,
you for
let's
getting
move
up.
on. Let's move on. Hito, I see you've got a question here.
Yeah, we've just got a trade proposal.
Okay.
Talk to us.
So we're doing 3 players, one from each position.
Mhm.
So this side of the trade is Aurier, Luis Diaz, and Nketiah.
Yeah.
For Trippier, Gibbs White, and Wissa.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
This one's tough.
I think getting rid of Aurea now would be like trading
I already know.
high.
I love getting Trippier, Gibbs White, and Visser.
I think so too, because I think you're kind of getting more value for Aurea than he's worth.
I don't know what side you're on. Which side are we on?
I think the side was on the Nketiah side. They currently had.
They had.
They have Nketiah.
Dude, if they can get that trade through, that is, I think they're printing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think they're going for like the real best player for that on the left side is Diaz.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think you get 3 really good FPL prospects.
I mean, across
instead
a
of-
whole season,
Yeah.
like those guys.
It'd be hard to now. I'm not sure if the trade offer went in before this game week or not.
Yeah, because of this.
Because of Visser again, that would be very hard. But Nketiah scored. Oh no, sorry, first week he scored. So yeah, it'd be hard to get.
Yeah,
But Trips hasn't hit the ground running, so maybe. But yeah, I think I agree with you boys. I think it's the Trips, Gibbs White, and Wissa side, or Visser.
Let us know how you go.
All right, let's go on to our top waivers for this week. Hito, why don't you kick us off?
Yeah, so my first pick is Rodri. I just think he scored in the first week against Burnley, and they've got some really good fixtures coming up. So they've got Sheffield, Fulham, then West Ham. And, we just know how they get involved. And even after that fixture, it's Forest and Wolves. So I just think someone really should be jumping on Rodri.
Just to see if he nabs a goal or two.
Yeah,
during
just
that
there's an option
period.
there. Could get another goal, and that's really strong. I've also got a bit of a weird pick here.
like it.
Hwang Hee-chan
Okay.
from Wolves. He got a goal off the bench this week against Brighton. It was a nice header goal.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm just leaning towards him just because he's got Everton and Palace as the next 2 games. So I think more so just for the Everton game.
Yeah.
Just got to jump on that moment and get in there. So I'm hoping that just for maybe 1 week pick, it could be a little bit of an interesting option for someone.
Yeah. love it.
Because he is a midfielder, so get more points obviously for a goal. And my final player that I'm going to pick for this week, little bit of a different one, but I think it's important to kind of jump on the defense when you see it. And I think those who haven't gotten on the new Tottenham left back, Ndogi.
Yeah.
Is that how you say it?
Udogie,
Might have not
Udogie.
drafted him just because he was not a big name.
Yeah.
I just think that Tottenham defense looks maybe better than it could have been
Yeah.
before the season started. So
I agree. I think maybe even we should have put Tottenham's defense as a stop. Like in our league, as we're an 8-man league, I saw like maybe 3 of Tottenham's starting backs available. And I don't know if other people did the same thing as us when Ange Postecoglou is going to be really attacking. We're not
I
going
think
to see
we just
many
didn't
clean
really
sheets.
know, to
but
be honest. Yeah.
It's hard to know. But look, at this point, maybe they're a bit more valued. I mean, that's actually partly what is in my waivers this week.
Oh yeah,
I've got Van de Ven in there.
yeah. I just saw same thing. We both just saw the points. I'm guessing and
Yeah.
go first Cleany.
Yeah, and they've got a good little run of fixtures. They're sitting as the best run of fixtures of anyone. The next 3 games is Bournemouth, Burnley, and Sheffield. So if there's any way into the Tottenham lineup, I think you're doing it right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Milo, do you want to go and I'll do mine?
Yeah. So look, I've got one legitimate pickup, and then I've got 2 gambles. You know, I like a punt.
Yeah, love it. Punt away.
So my first one's Lucas Dean.
Yeah.
That he looks like he could have made his way back into the team this year, and Aston Villa look really, really good. So we know how good that he can be up that left side. Left side? Yeah.
Yep, left side.
And he can be on free kicks as well sometimes. I know that Douglas Luiz has a bit of a stranglehold on them, but, you know, he is another option. And boys, I've got 2 punts. So Callum Hudson-Odoi, ex-Chelsea man, was in Bundesliga last season. He's been rumoured for, I think you said about 3 clubs or something.
Yeah, Fulham and Everton are definitely 2 of them. I forget the third off the top of my head.
Yes.
But it's looking like he might get a move to a Prem club, which it's hard to know because it's very much an unknown. Like he's performed decently in the Prem before I think it was his ACL, whatever he did. Back then, but he's never quite come back the same, and it looks like Chelsea are finally looking to offload him, even though we were offered like crazy money from Bayern a couple of years back. Look, unfortunately, after that injury, he's just never been the same. So I think there's definitely a lot of potential there. He was one of Chelsea's highest prospects for years, and we obviously didn't want to let go of him. So things aren't looking as good right now, but maybe we've seen it before. They go off, they get a club, they're not on loan.
Pulisic scored this week for
did he?
AC Milan.
Yeah, I'm not too surprised at that.
Banger as well.
He just needed minutes.
But look, my last one. My last one is taking a punt on Lukaku in deep leagues. He's still rumoured to maybe go to West Ham, maybe go to Tottenham. Who knows if he might end up somewhere else in the Premier League. Look,
I like it.
He could be a pretty fun gamble if you've got just that swing spot in your forwards. Have a think about it. And
have a think about it.
Round us out, Whitey. What are you wavering this week?
Well, I already said Van de Ven. I think he's probably not top of my list, but look, he's up there. As I said, we want to get into that Tottenham action, especially with those great fixtures. Again, I'm very fixture-based here with these. Pau Torres is another one. I picked him up last game week. He might still be around. Mingsy's injured, and he fits nicely into that position.
That one.
They spent a lot of money on him. And it was rumoured that they would be trying to phase him into that role. So, yeah, now there's really no question. So it's his to lose. And Bailey was the other one. We already kind of mentioned him earlier in the stops, but I think you got to jump on him. He's performed. He got some attacking returns this past game week. They have great fixtures, as we said. The only risk to him is, I think, Zaniolo. But with that goal and assist last game week, I think it's going to be his spot to lose. So definitely worth that.
Yeah, like it.
And last one I had here actually is Pedro Porro. He ended up getting a start this week. Yeah. Didn't start the first.
He had a really good shot at goal at one point.
He did, and I think he looked quite good in this game. He started over Emerson Royale, which is interesting because I'm sure everyone jumped on him after he scored last game week. So,
I think didn't he get injured or it was a head clash or
did he? I didn't know that.
Got sent off or something.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like he came off after the goal. I believe.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, anyway, we'll have to look deeper into that. So maybe have that in mind if you're looking into Porro.
Yeah, we've got a bit to look at and see what happens with Ange's team. Still tricky with a new manager.
Yeah, boys, that's it.
Good to have
all
you
of
back,
us back
mate.
together.
That's it.
Good to be back. That's it.
And I just want to say, if you guys like the pod, please give us a like on what are we on?
Oh, everything.
Everything.
Yeah,
Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, it's more about giving us a little rating.
Google Play.
You can do, we've got a few ratings now on Spotify. It really helps us. And if you like the pod, please let us know. Miles is on our Instagram, FBL Draft Boys. He does all over our Twitter and Reddit. We love hearing from everyone. If you've got questions, send them in. That's it.
Yeah, let's have a big season.
Let's do it.
We're here for you guys.
Yeah.
Still listening. Thank
Peace
you.
out.